Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia from Rant channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here to make my Miles video. Um, so when I was watching season 13, 14, and when I was watching Next Class, there was something about Miles' character that stuck out to me, especially like when he's going through pain, like when he was going through his depression. I feel like Miles, maybe not season 13, but he still was, I don't think Miles was depressed season 13, but I do feel like he was still going through a lot as far when it came to his dad and, him having daddy issues. I feel like in season 14, when the abuse starts to happen mentally, psychologically, and physically, I definitely feel like Miles went into a depression state, and I think him smoking weed was like a motivation for him to have the only reason to get out of bed. I feel like in season 13, 14, and this class, pretty much, I feel like Miles' pain is kind of like invalidated. Like, I feel like when I go and watch the show, I feel like other than Maya and maybe a little Tristan, when he would open up to them about his relationship with his dad, I feel like they understood why he might be wired the way he is, as far as being rebellious and a rebel without a cause. But I feel like sometimes there were just scenes where I feel like Winston, how Miles and his dad relationship is. Why are you even checking him about why he is the way he is? You feel me? Like Winston or even Frankie and Hunter, like especially in season 14, like when they had the whole intervention scene and they was like on him about smoking weed, it's like Frankie and Hunter, y'all live with him. So if anything, y'all should know firsthand why he's smoking weed. Y'all know he got a bad relationship with your dad. Y'all know him and his dad don't get along. You motherfuckers live in the same house, so you can't tell me that you don't know that there's any abuse going on. Regardless if Miles was smoking the weed or not, they would have known something, period. I don't want to hear, oh, he never told his mom about the first altercation when the dad pushed him against the picture. He didn't tell Frankie. He didn't tell Hunter. That doesn't matter, because by the time they hold an intervention for Miles, they was already, like, they, pretty much what I got out of that episode was that the abuse was still happening. Pretty much. Like, it was in secret where no one would know or no one could really see the dad putting his hands on Miles. But I feel like before anything got physical, they saw how the dad would treat Miles emotionally. Like, the dad had a tendency of, reeling Miles in and pretty much getting what he wants from him emotionally, whether that's like showing him love and affection. Like I always say, in season 14 in episode 2, when Miles and his dad had that heart to heart, and Miles saying like, oh, he wished that him and his dad could do things like this more, go out, talk, without being any arguing or any bickering. And the dad said that he wants them to improve in their relationship and have a better relationship. And the dad was like, how come me and you don't get along? And Mom said, we're always arguing. There's either something you criticize, there's something that's not good enough. There's always something that you just poke out and automatically that rises something. And Miles, pretty much like he said in his class, he felt like he had to be someone else for his dad, that he didn't know who he was. That's why I always tell people that it made sense why as soon as he was kissing Tristan, it made sense that he didn't automatically identify himself as bisexual. He went with love the person, not the gender. Miles didn't know who he was as a person. That's why he was not comfortable identifying himself as a bisexual man. He was not comfortable with it because for the longest time he didn't know who he was. Like he said, he was constantly fighting his dad over the image that he wanted and what his dad wanted him to be. So him not knowing who he is and his dad wanting him to force an image on who he is made Miles not know who he truly is as a person. That's why I feel like when people say, oh, Miles' sexuality storyline is not great, I always tell them, maybe y'all need to watch season 13 or 14 again. And Next Class, too. I think Miles, I would say right after Marco, Miles got the best Right after Marco, I'm definitely saying that I feel like Miles got the best coming to terms with your sexuality storyline. Because it wasn't an easy role. He didn't identify as bisexual off top. Like, I would say Marco, Miles, Zoe. They got the best coming to terms of your sexuality storylines because they were consistent, they were very well written, and I liked the journey of all three of those characters coming to terms of whether it was being gay, being bisexual, being lesbian. I liked it. Zoe's storyline and Degrassi Next Class, great. Miles coming to terms with his bisexuality, great. I wished him and Tristan really, really did have chemistry. Like, as much as I don't ship him and Tristan, I don't. I feel like if Degrassi would have written their relationship the way that I would have liked it, or hell, they could have put Miles with a better love interest. I think when Miles finally came out being bisexual to Tristan and telling him that the bisexual part is what makes him love him the most, I couldn't cheer for that. Hell, maybe I would have cried. I just really got happy tears because I felt so happy for Miles to finally come to terms who he is as a person, and that he doesn't have to pretend to be something he's not, that him getting into writing and writing about characters or writing about serious topics made him open up, made him open up more as a person as far as coming to be authentic and creative. Like, Miles' character was so good in Next Class. I'm not sure if I agree with that girl with her saying that he was the last good actor on the show. I think and she means for as far as the guys that they hired, I would say yes. I feel like for that new generation, Miles was their last good male actor. He really, like Eric Osborne, who played Miles, he definitely did his shit when it came to acting. He laid down Eric Osborne was great as Miles. I really couldn't see anyone else they could have casted to play Miles. When it came to acting, when it came to storylines, Miles was a fantastic character. Miles is an S-tier character for me for Degrassi. He's one of the best actors on the show. He's one of the best characters on the show with some of the best storylines. He was a great leading role. We're not going to do that. Miles automatically became one of my favorite characters the second he stepped in season 13. I knew I was going to love him as a character, and I 100% did. But in season 13, right, Miles found out that his dad was having an affair. They was doing some type of like practice interview with the girl that the dad's having an affair with. Miles is like alluding to, like how his dad is fake and how he put on an image for the world, like that he's a good husband, that he's a good father, when he's really none of those things. When he didn't want to be there anymore to go along with the game and the foolishness, Mom followed him. Miles told the mom that, why are we putting up with this fake facade? He loves to pretend that he's a good father and a good husband. She talked about your dad loves you. He loves you and the twins. He said, Mom, he's cheating on you with Andrea. The mom pretty much said that she knows. And Miles said, wait, he said, then why are you going along with this charade? She talked about my marriage is none of your business. And he said that he just can't be here right now. What I took for that is that the mother is a pushover. Don't get me wrong, she did eventually come to terms that she wanted to get a separation from the dad. But in this class, she eventually took this nigga back, which is like, huh? How can you take a man back who cheated on you, not only cheated on you, but almost shattered a glass to one of your sons and was abusing the other one, and then tried to tell your daughter to take the fall for the Degrassi news, huh? Like, their dad was a piece of shit. How can the mom even consider taking him back? How? He damaged each and every one of his children in a way. He left a scar on them, whether the show wants to admit it or not. Everything with Frankie and her relationships had to do with the fact that she had father issues, that her father was not around all the time, and because her father wasn't like the first man to show her love, instead he just showed her what he can get from her, and she just goes along with the game. It makes sense why she was kind of acting like, I guess you could say, moody when it came to Jonah and Degrassi next class. Why she was the way she was when it came to Winston. Her dad didn't make her feel secure as a daughter, so as a partner, she didn't feel secure in her relationships. Like, as y'all can see with Jonah, her and Jonah were constantly breaking up because if we're gonna be for real, because of Jonah. Like, I know this is a Miles video, but I'm trying to, like, all of this is connected with Frankie's relationships, right? Like, in next class, when she would go moody all over Jonah, it's because Jonah never gave her any, like, he never, like, was really, he never told her what they were doing. Gideon was in a relationship, but it's like, can you see yourself with me forever? Is this something long term, or is this just something until you graduate? Like, I feel like Frankie half the time really just wanted commitment for Jonah, and I feel like sometimes he act like it was just too much, which is why I was saying from the beginning, her and Jonah did not work. Hunter's whole, like, okay, like, in season 2, he had a great storyline, by the way. They said that Hunter is depressed, but it's not with sadness, it's with anger. That when he brought the gun to the school and when he crashed Miles' car on purpose, it was to get attention because the mother is very neglectful. He doesn't get any attention from her, but at least when the dad was around, he got attention from him. So, off top, that's like sending warning signs where Hunter needs help. Because it's like, if you're saying you purposely do things to get attention because one of your parents are neglectful and the other one who did pay attention to you is no longer living with you, you need to get some help. Which explains Hunter's mentality, like how his mental in season 2. It explained his relationship with Yao that I guess you could say when she wasn't the person, I'm not even going to talk about that because I feel like it's a whole different situation. I do feel like his relationship with Yao definitely comes from a place with an issue he has with his dad. But I feel like with the whole situation with Yao, I feel like it's just something deeper. Like, again, like I keep saying, I don't think Hunter should be crucified for basically saying that he doesn't want to date someone who doesn't really know if they're male or female, or if they feel like they're both. Hunter is a straight man who likes girls. If he doesn't want to be with a girl who doesn't know what she is, as far as if she feels like a female or if she feels like a guy, I don't think he should be crucified for that. I mean, yeah, if he loved y'all, should he just accept her for who she is? Absolutely. But for some people, they probably feel like it's confusing for them, right? I think that's where it was just coming from. And then with Miles, what didn't Miles have? Miles had major daddy issues. Miles having a bad relationship with his dad explains why he was really a bad boyfriend in his relationships. Miles was a cheater. He was really a manipulator. Like, Miles did have some traits of his dad in his relationships. Like, with Maya, I think, and with Maya, I feel like when Miles was with Maya, I don't think necessarily he was a cheater or a manipulator. I feel like he was unpredictable in a way where I feel like for Maya, her mental state, that wasn't the greatest combo. You feel me? Miles was really jealous of the connection that Maya and Zig had, to the point where it made him feel like he has to prove himself to Maya and to Zig. Like, pretty much, tell Zig, like, I'm her man, you're not. And pretty much tell Maya, like, I'm going to stick up for this relationship because at the end of the day, that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm the boyfriend. So if he ain't going to listen to you, when you tell him to fall back, he damn sure going to listen to me. I feel like Miles being unpredictable and having that, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do next mentality, you'll just have to sit back and watch. I don't think that was the greatest combo for Maya at all. I always feel like him and Maya would have worked better in next class than they did in Next Generation, in my opinion. And then, Miles, I feel like when Miles was with Tristan, he was a cheater, he was a manipulator. I will say that. Like, for people who act like that their relationship was just all sunsets and rainbows, let's be honest. When I hear people say they like Miles and Tristan, it's really because they really wanted Tristan to be in a relationship. Stop hanging off the bed. It's because they wanted Tristan to be in a relationship. Because the moment Tristan comes on your screen, you realize he's an insecure boy who is gay, openly gay at that, in high school, and it's hard for him to find love. So pretty much what you learn from Tristan's character is that he'll do whatever he got to do to find love, even if that means getting it in the most shittiest ways. Like, there's no way in hell Degrassi could ever convince me that the love between Tristan and Miles was passionate and genuine, because it never gave that, and it damn sure didn't seem like that. Miles was very emotionally manipulative to Tristan. He was. Like, if you're gonna lie, go back and watch season 14. Like, the way he dogged Tristan the way he did, and how he, like I said, when he basically was trying to manipulate Tristan pretty much. Like, when Tristan held an intervention, and Miles was like, I can't believe you would do this to me. You're the one person I trust. I thought you would understood. That's manipulation, because I feel like at the name Miles, the only way I feel like it would be a big ass betrayal for what Tristan did if he would have went to Miles' parents and they had the intervention with him. That to me would be like a big sense of betrayal, because Tristan, you know that Miles don't really fuck with his dad and he don't really fuck with his mom, and you go to them about his weed habit. But I feel like Tristan going to the people that are closest to Miles, as far as Winston, Frankie, and Hunter, I don't think he should have been crucified for that. But at the same time, when I look at the intervention now, I feel like when Tristan was holding the intervention, I feel like it didn't come from a place of, oh, we're really worried about Miles and his weed habit. I feel like he just wanted Miles to just stop smoking weed, and then they could get back to being more focused onto their relationship. It didn't even come from a place of he truly cared on what was really going on with Miles. You feel me? Which was like, I can't really blame it on Tristan, because it's like Miles was completely MIA. He didn't really tell Tristan about anything that was really going on. For all we know is that Tristan just see that Miles is smoking weed more than often, and it's becoming so bad that he's skipping school a lot, and they feel like they needed to hold an intervention. But I feel like with Tristan, when he held the whole intervention, now when I look at it, when I just got done watching season 14, I feel like it really came from a place of like, I just want my boyfriend back. In a way where it's like, oh, we don't really want to get you some help. We just want you to stop smoking weed. Like, I can't really explain it, but that's just how I feel like that's where it came from. And I feel like I said, I feel like Miles is a manipulator, and I feel like he was a cheater. Like, I don't know how many times he did cheated on Tristan, whether it was emotionally or physically. He cheated on Tristan emotionally with Maya in season 14. Then he did it again in the next class with Lola. Not only did he sleep with Lola and fell in love with her, he got her pregnant. And you mean to tell me Tristan took him back after that? Like, that's just the worst of the worst. Like, Tristan, you was laying in bed in a coma. No one knew if you were going to wake up or not. And Miles was falling in love with somebody else. And not only that, he fucked this person and got them pregnant. You forgave him for that? Child, Tristan has the biggest low self-esteem I've probably ever seen in a show, because ain't no motherfucking way. Ain't no way. But back to what's really important. Like I said, I definitely feel like Miles' pain in season 13, from season 13 to next class, was definitely overlooked in my opinion. Like, okay, like I just said, in season 13, I feel like no one really understood that, you know, that most of the aggression where it was coming from was really because he found out that his dad was cheating. Like, when he threw the house party and Maya was pissed. I think Miles threw the party because he was really pissed about his dad cheating and then having the nerve to leave him with a motherfucking babysitter. That really pissed him off and sent him over the hedge to where, yes, when his dad did that and lit a fire him to where now I'm going to throw a party, and when he come home, he going to see that the house is trash, it's fucked up, he going to yell at me, get me in trouble, I'm going to get in trouble. You know, like, Miles just wanted to piss his dad off. So he get a reaction out of his dad. But it really was coming from a place that he was pissed that his dad was cheating, that the mom was just okay with it. And in the season 14, the dad was pretty much like physically and emotionally abusing Miles for real, because he criticized Miles for kissing a guy, basically saying it's not right. And in episode 2, he basically manipulated Miles into thinking that he actually genuinely wanted a relationship with him, but he was only doing it for the press to look like a good father, so it wasn't genuine. So I feel like Miles coping with everything that was going on with his dad with weed, I don't really think that was a big deal. Why? Because there's worse things you can do in the world besides weed. Weed is not going to kill you. If Miles was popping pills or doing cocaine or doing heroin, then it's like, yeah, now it's time to look into deeper precaution. But he was just smoking weed. And why is everybody acting like him skipping class is a big deal? He was doing that way before season 14. He was skipping class all the time. Why is everybody acting like, oh, no, all of a sudden, oh, this is new, he's skipping class? He was skipping class all the time. He skipped class season 14, skipped class season 13. Hell, he skipped shit tons of classes in the next class. That's why I said it don't even make sense that he graduated on time. All the classes that he skipped, how the hell did he get his grades up back up in the nick of time to graduate on time? Huh? Make that make sense in of itself. It don't make sense. And then in next class, I feel like in next class, especially in season 1, I feel like his pain was definitely invalidated. Why? Because how can the mom not understand where he was coming from? Miles had major anxiety, panic attacks, and it all happens when he's around his father. I don't know if it's because of PTSD, because of the trauma. He literally tells the mom that when he is around the dad, he cannot breathe. She can't even consider bringing him back when he's not. He's just not okay with it. She completely ignores Miles' wishes, ignores the cries, ignores the trauma that her son basically has with the dad using him as a punching bag. Ignores it and say, oh, we could just be one big happy family again. When were they ever a big happy family? The fuck? So Miles starts taking drugs, any kind of pill you could think of for whatever. He gets addicted to it. Why? Because of fucking Esme. Esme was a fucking, I don't know what the fuck she was. She just, I feel like anybody that she got close to on the show that was part of the main cast, she fucked up their life in some type of way. Miles, she got her hooked up on the drugs. She was an enabler. Season 2, what did she do? In season 2, she kissed Zoe just to see if Zoe really was a lesbian or not, which freaked Zoe out because she didn't want Esme of all people to know that she was a lesbian. So she pretended to make it like it was all just for the play until where she pushed herself in a relationship with Winston. There was Zig. She was constantly up and down with her fucking mood swings, having what they call it, psychotic episode. Is that what it's called? Where it just shows that she should not have been in a relationship. Hell, she shouldn't even have been with Zig. So I just feel like his pain in the next class especially is like definitely invalidated. Like, Esme was an enabler. She had this nigga Miles on every pain pill or any kind of pill you could think of where he would just say with it for her, and she would say, doesn't matter, you just need to get high. To where the only way Miles was able to be around his dad was only when he was high. So to me, I just feel like Miles' pain was definitely invalidated. Like, I feel like nobody really understood what he was going through, and I know it's because it was the whole rich kid facade. Oh, you're a rich kid. You don't have real problems. You have money, and la 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 la. Pretty much what Shay was pretty much trying to say to Frankie in season 2 when they got into an argument. Oh, you're rich. You don't really need to be on a volleyball team to get into college because you have money. So you'll get into a college regardless because you have money. Where, oh, I need this. I don't have money. My daddy is not mayor. He can't just write me off something. And it's just like, first of all, Shay, you've been friends with Frankie for how long? How can you even sit here in her face and say, "Oh, you just a rich girl"? It's like, damn. So deep down, as long as me and you've been friends, that's how you really that's what you really think about me, is that I'm just a rich girl. You feel me? And like Shay, like you just said, and this is why I really like Frankie. You're right. Frankie does come from a wealthy family. She does have money. Her daddy is indeed the mayor. You're 100% right. But any fucking activity or sport Frankie did, she did it by earning her stripes. Like Shay just said, if Frankie wanted to, she could have her dad or her mom call the fucking college and automatically put her on the volleyball team for that college for the next season. Even though she don't know shit about volleyball, she ain't really been learning, she could just do it because she has money, right? Money talks, everybody has a price. That's what they say, right? Okay, then why didn't Frankie do that if she really didn't care about earning her stripes? See, I don't like that type of shit like that. Them just automatically thinking, oh, because she rich, she got it easy. I don't like that shit, because the Hollingsworth, one thing all three of them kids show is that they did not have it easy, that their life was really, really fucked up for real. Like, people thought just because they had money that they must have just been happy and all that other shit. Nah. I feel like the Hollingsworth was a good addition to Degrassi as far as showing, like, the rich part of a family. I actually like that. I like all three of the Hollingsworth. I like Hunter, I like Frankie, I like Miles. I feel like that they're all great characters in their own way. I just feel like out of all three of them, if I had to say, I feel like the one who didn't get the most storylines, probably Frankie. And I think what I would have done differently with Frankie is that after she broke up with Winston, I would have put her in what the fuck am I trying to say? I wouldn't have put her in a relationship with Jonah. I would have made her character suicidal in next class. I would have made her character suicidal, or she was self-harming. Two of those things is what I would have done with her character in next class. I would have put her in a relationship with Jonah. Why? Because it didn't make sense. And then I would have made her Winston Endgame later on down the show. That's how I would have done it. Yep. But I definitely feel like Miles is a character. Definitely when it came to when he was dealing stuff with his dad, I definitely feel like his pain was invalidated as far as when it comes to Frankie, Hunter, the mom. I feel like most of the stuff the dad did to Miles, I feel like they blame Miles for it because they feel like, oh, Miles always purposely provokes the dad. I don't give a fuck what your child does. That doesn't give you the right to smack them or hit them across the face. It's just my opinion. So, with that being said, that's all I have to say for this video. Oh, another thing I did want to mention. I know I was supposed to do a Degrassi Season 14 Part 2 rant, but when I was thinking about it, I'm thinking there really is no need for that because, A, I feel like when I just rewatched the season, none of my opinions changed. There was nothing in the season that I saw differently that made me want to make a Part 2. And B, it would just be me talking about the same shit that I already talked about already. And I had already made a video on why I feel like Season 14 is the worst season for Degrassi. So again, if y'all have not watched that, it's on my channel. You know, so you could just listen to the reasons I already came up with. Because I feel like when I rewatched Season 14, most of the issues I have with the season, I pretty much is already mentioned in that video, to where it's like if I make a Part 2 rant, I'm just going to be talking about the same shit. So that's really all I wanted to say. But as always, it is nice talking to y'all, and catch you on my next video.